So the Mandalorian continues to, I don't know, roll along. This was episode 6, so I guess that leaves only 2. Well, there's a little bit of action in this one. And okay, it starts off, well, alright, there's a lot of stupid. It starts off being silly with, fish people in love. And apparently a bit of a Romeo and Juliet romance here. And then all of a sudden they encounter an Imperial ship, and the crew is all Mandalorian. And you think, oh, well, they're going to pursue further this business of how the last show ended with what appeared to be Mandalorian involvement in, Moff Gideon escaping. And that's probably exactly what happened, as is explained here, that they're guns for hire, which is the title of the show, by the way. And whoever has the highest bid wins. And so apparently they were probably, more than likely, the ones hired to help him escape. And so now they've been hired to pick up the prince of the calamari, who ran away with, I forget what their names are. The squid-faced people. Anyway, and they want their prince back, and they don't approve of the relationship and all this stuff. But it's just, I mean, you just can't keep a straight face around it. And I'm sure that's the point. It was kind of played up that because they're like, I love you. We'll be together again someday. It's these fish people, So anyway, that's the explanation. These are Bo-Katan's former, soldiers or what have you. And so now Bo-Katan's got her new mission to go find other Mandalorians and bring them all together for the cause of taking back Mandalore. So that's what she's doing, and she goes to this planet ruled by Jack Black and his queen, Lizzo. Well, there you go. So anyway, they're more or less briefly there, but the setup of it, they go there, and there's a lot of spectacular effects. Well, not spectacular, but well done in showing off the city of this planet. They travel around in these trains within like giant pneumatic tubes or what have you, and but they're there to find the Mandalorians. They see their fleet of cobbled together stolen Imperial ships and whatnot, but they can't meet with them yet. They got to go meet the king and queen because they've got a job for them. So they hire them to deal with droids they have that are becoming dangerous and perhaps homicidal if not dealt with shortly. And the droids are all leftovers from the Clone Wars. So there's some interesting little Easter eggy type stuff from the Clone Wars. And of course, specifically for Din Djarin, who doesn't like droids because of what happened during the Clone Wars. But here it's pretty much a joke. They do have like Blade Runner city scenes, but they did shoot them better than they did for poor Obi-Wan. So I guess there's that. But the emphasis, and it's supposed to be this sort of comedic banter between Bo and Din, but because he's the bad cop and she's the good cop, and then they investigate this problem with the droids, and Bo-Katan just keeps picking on droids until one can't take it anymore and attacks, and so, he's one of the bad droids. So they chase him and catch him, and then they find a clue to a droid bar where they, drink oil. Yeah. So anyway, the droids are like, hey, we don't want any trouble, and we're really concerned about these reports of droids going rogue. We're afraid we'll be replaced by human workers. And things have been tough since the Clone Wars, and it's, oh boy. Now, there's a lot of silliness to Star Wars in a lot of ways, and that is taking not just from the fairy tale aspect, but also from the old movie serials and that sort of thing. But just at the edge of stupid, so it didn't become stupid, you know? Kind of became stupid here. So anyway, they find a clue, they investigate, they go to the droid morgue and discover, oh, there's nanobots in there rewriting their programming, but, oh, wait, someone would have had to put it in there. And, well, it's Christopher Lloyd. Christopher Lloyd, the character they introduced earlier, he's the commissioner in charge of the droids, the likely suspect, and, of course, he's a guy still hung up on the separatism movement and believed Count Dooku was a visionary. So there's, once again, this sort of callbacks to it, which makes sense that something like that would still exist. It was also a possibility to give some explanation for the situation that the sequel trilogy found itself in as to why would aspects of the Republic fail. Well, whatever the problems were that led to the separatist movement, and of course they were manipulated by Sidious and the dark side of the Force and all that, and that's true. But at the same time, you could argue that he was playing upon things that were already there, and why some systems didn't want to be a part of the Republic and felt they'd be better off on their own, and that sort of thing. And so that would be an interesting thing to explore, but it's just sort of tossed in here, and it's kind of treated like a joke. So they arrest him, they bring him before Lizzo, and she says, well, you've been very naughty, and so you're going to have to go into exile, and hopefully one day you can come back and, and be nice. And he's like, I'm sorry, and off he goes. And so then they get to go see the Mandalorians, and Bo's wanting her crew back, but they got a new leader, and he says, I'm the leader now, so she has to fight him for it. So they fight. And ultimately she wins. But the problem is yeah, but you still don't have the dark saber. So then Din Djarin says, hey, you know what? She can just have it. And it's like, she's supposed to win it in battle. And he says, yeah, but guess what? A while back I got captured and I lost the saber. So then she came in and defeated the one who defeated me and took the saber. He did it with the saber, So, hey, that kind of counts. It's hers now, isn't it? And they're like, oh, yeah. So, he just now thought of this scenario, I guess. I don't know. So, she's got the dark saber now, so there you go. She's the rightful queen of Mandalore. And I guess all's all right with the galaxy or whatever. So, anyway, 2 more episodes to go. I guess they'll just establish that. Whatever. I don't know. This thing was clumsy all over the place. I mean the show in its entirety, and as I've already pointed out several times, it's a sabotaged show, and the damage is still very clear. So, yeah, I don't know. I can't believe I'm in this position to where I say, look, comparing this with Picard Season 3, Picard's doing a better job. So, well, it's strange times, isn't it? Yeah. So, but can the last 2 episodes save the deal? I doubt it. They might be really spectacular and stuff, but Star Wars remains in a very bad place, and I don't know that it can be saved. Anyway, and Grogu was cute and stuff and did another, backflip thing. That's about it, though.